Hello, this is Dan Glazer. I'm with Comics on Parole. How are you doing, Al?
Good, man. How's it going?
How are you doing, Mr. Box?
Pretty good.
This is Tommy in the Box. You mostly know him through his box on his head, and he says lyrics or poems or whatever you call him, but he's also a very skilled harmonica player. So right now I'm going to leave the stage, and so we listen to Mr. Box play the harmonica.
Well, I'm just T-Pappy when I'm on the harmonica, folks. And just to love the old Rolling Stones. They'll be back on tour again. So, you know, we're all getting that age where, you know, you got to keep on moving, and this is, you got to move. You got to move. You got to move. You got to move now. You got to move. 'Cause when the law get ready, you got to move.
Thank you, Mr. Box. Mr. Box, before you leave the stage, thank you.
Thank
You know, I asked you to play harmonica. Singing was not in the contract.
Okay.
There's this extra here. I'll give you a Skittle. Would you like a Skittle?
Okay.
Want a Skittle? Okay.
Yeah, I'll have one of
we're not
these,
brought
man.
to you by Skittles, but I'll give you a Skittle.
How
long have you been playing the harmonica?
Since I was 15.
And you really were part of a band, right?
Yeah.
And back 20, 30 years ago, correct?
Yeah.
20 years ago?
Yeah.
Did you play with some big bands or anyone known?
Oh, yeah. I played with the Doors.
Really?
One of the members of the Doors, yeah. Yes.
Well, let me touch you. Really? How long did you play with them?
Just one night.
Okay.
Little Red Rooster.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Who else?
Jimmy Hall.
Really?
Yeah.
Very good. And one time, if you've seen this show before, Tommy, come to Jerry Farber's open mic. He does this thing where he opens up the box. That's why I call him Tommy Box, and he says these funny things. And one of the last famous people to see him do it was at Cafe 290. It was Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Someone brought him over there to see him do it, and then Larry the Cable Guy never came back to Atlanta again.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll have Mr. Box on the show very briefly again to play another ditty. And thank you, Mr. Box.
Dan.
Okay,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. And now let's welcome to a stage a young comedian. I think he's running for president. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Danny Simmons.
Woo! Hey! What's happening?
How are you, Danny?
Doing good. How are you, Dan?
Danny Simmons, a very talented young man who comes to the Jerry Farber's open mic. And I was just taken with his impressions he does of some famous people. Do you do more than one famous person? Or
Yeah.
you just do one famous person?
I do.
You do several.
My dog's pretty famous. So.
Okay, now, and you also have a room, right, where you're going to have an open mic?
My room is in Lithonia.
Your bedroom is in Lithonia?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My
Now,
wife gives me a
how long have you done comedy?
For about 3 years now.
That's it?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing impressions?
All my life.
Well, what made you... Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you only do two?
I did my grandmother.
No, I don't want your grandmother. No one knows your grandmother. Someone famous.
Who? I mean, I've heard it my whole life. I don't.
Do your grandmother?
No, it's a famous comedian.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You heard of him before?
who?
In terms of Bernie Mac.
Oh yeah, do Bernie Mac.
No, man. It's Chris Tucker, man. Show me some respect. I got on a blazer, man. Ask your questions.
Okay, Chris. What do I call you, Chris or Danny? What made you get into comedy? What made you get into comedy? What made you start comedy?
I couldn't get away from it, actually. I've been funny my whole life.
Yeah,
And,
well, that's with most comics. They may start early or later in life, but they really didn't just start being funny. They were funny their whole life.
Yeah, I've been funny my whole life. Class clown from yay high.
But what makes you more unique more than other comedians?
Well, my life experience.
Like what?
I've been in the Marines. I drove trucks.
But did you have a lot of pain in life? The most successful comics had a lot of pain.
Struggles. First of all, doing comedy and being a dad.
Oh, your dad too?
Yeah, I mean, I got a wife, 3 kids, a dog, and a side chick. But don't judge me too harshly.
Your wife is here.
I put the side chick to the side, and I had to tell her,
Wait, is this your side chick or is this not your side chick?
That's the main chick.
This is the main chick. This is your wife, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And the child, how's old is the child?
Oh, man. 10.
And he's in the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been left in the car. Now, what's your issues with cell phones?
Oh, man. My issue is the whole features that they have on it. I mean, my mom thinks that she shouldn't learn how to text because it'll run up her bill.
Yeah.
So
well, you used to run up the bill.
Yeah, but she has it on her bill.
That's true.
Her excuse is not to learn technology nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'm calling her, and she sends me a message.
Right.
And she didn't answer, and I really wanted to talk to her. She sent me a message, and the message said, I can't talk.
Right.
Because I'm driving.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yes, so I'm trying to collect some money to get a...
That was a good joke. Here, let me give you a Skittle. That was a good joke. You get a Skittle. That was a good joke. Okay.
Thank you.
You only get a Skittle if
What
it's
am
a
I,
good one.
pet?
That was a good one.
Pet. Rewarding me with Skittles.
Now, why
What's wrong with you, man?
The red one?
every time you do Chris, you get another Skittle. That's good. Okay. Now, what? Now, you used to drink, right?
I used to drink.
You don't drink no more.
I don't drink anymore.
How old are you?
I'm 34 this
Oh, I
year.
thought you were a lot younger.
Yeah, thanks.
See, down south,
too.
we say you don't drink no more. Up north, where I'm from, Indiana, we say you don't drink anymore. But down south, I have to say you don't drink no more.
I got so
now,
messed
why
up.
don't you drink no more?
I got so messed up one night, I cussed out my landlord.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Right.
So I know as a man, I had to get up the next morning and apologize because it was a woman.
Oh, yeah.
So I got up the next morning and I
Yeah.
said, I'm sorry, Mama. Please forgive me.
Here, let's give you another Skittle. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Okay, so you do look pretty fit. You exercise?
I do.
Yeah.
I like to exercise by going to the skating ring, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice quad workout. Until
Ice skating or roller skating?
Roller skating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does the missus go with you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what's your experience like when you're rolling?
I mean, I noticed every time we go, we see the same 3 types of people.
Right. What's that?
The little beginners, the YOLOs, the young guys who work there, and also the old school players like yourself.
Yeah.
But I always recognize the beginners because they have on the brown skates with the orange wheels.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's an old time thing, skating. I used to roller skate in the '60s. It was big.
You are an ATL.
It was big. Is it big?
And it's
in Atlanta?
popular down here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that where you go to pick up chicks?
No. What are you doing, Dan? Trying to get me...
Now you do a lot of church comedy, or do you perform at churches?
I do.
You do? How's that?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah. I mean,
Is it good? But you got to be clean when you.
It's a
do
different
it.
experience. Yeah. You got to be creative.
Right. Go back into Chris Tucker. I want to hear more Chris Tucker. I'm going to ask you these questions, but you answer as Chris Tucker. Now, what current projects are you working on?
Well, let's see, man. You know they're supposed to be shooting Rush Hour 4.
Here in Atlanta?
I don't know. But make sure
Everything's
y'all
on
get
it.
Danny Simmons in it.
You could be, a funny story about Chris Tucker. This is a true story. Chris Tucker was already a star, big star and everything, in his Rush Hour movies and everything. And Jerry Farber was performing at the Punchline. And he had his own show he was giving there. Chris Tucker walked in. And the owner of the Punchline asked Jerry, could he go up for 15 minutes in the middle of the show? Jerry said, sure. So Chris, knowing Chris, He went up there, stayed up 45 minutes. So after the show, Jerry Farber went up to Chris and said, Chris, I don't care if you're a big star, you're in movies, you're wealthy, you never perform where I'm performing again. Oh, and he goes, Chris, but Chris, what did I do? Say that.
But what did I do, man?
You were told to only stay there 15 minutes, and you stayed there 45 minutes. Then you're supposed to be, no, Jerry, they told me to stay 45 minutes. Go ahead, say it.
They told me to stay 45 minutes.
No, they told you to stay 15 minutes. Don't you ever perform or I'm going again.
I'm sorry, 50 minutes.
15 minutes. So anyway, what happened, I said to Jerry.
Y'all heard me?
I said to Jerry, let's get Chris. Chris loves open mics to come into our open mic. And Jerry said, Dan, he can come to the open mic, but he cannot do more than 15 minutes at my club. So it would be a big honor to have you come to our open mic, Mr. Tucker. I saw you do it at the Punchline. It was wonderful. And you stayed up an hour, and it was great. So anyway, Danny, thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to say? Where are you performing next?
Pretty soon, my club, my part ownership of the club, the House Comedy Club, will be opening in 2 weeks.
Where's it located? At the
3036 Lithonia.
Okay, and then is it going to be a open mic or is it going to be scheduled comics?
We're going to have scheduled comics.
Uh-huh.
At least 3 out of the 6 days we're going to be open.
Oh, wow. So you're doing this every night?
Yeah. I used to host last year. We moved on to a bigger place and everything's going
Is this going to be like a full-time job for you? Or
hopefully.
What is your job?
I'm a full-time dad.
Oh, okay, full-time dad.
Comedian.
Uh-huh.
And I do research security at Georgia Tech.
Research. Oh, very good, very good. Are you still filming Mrs. Danny? She's filming the show. Anyway, listen, do you want to say goodbye as Danny and then say goodbye as Chris?
This hot jacket. It's a bad choice.
That's a great shirt you got on. So what I want you to do, say goodbye as Danny and then say goodbye as Chris Tucker.
Goodbye to Danny.
See you later, man.
Do you do any other press? Well, Bernie Mac. Do you do Bernie Mac?
No.
Just Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Okay. You should do Chris Tucker doing Bernie Mac. So anyway, Danny, thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night at the open mic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, one more Skittle. You want another Skittle? Have another Skittle. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Okay. Now we're welcome to the... My God, you gave me a whole bio to read about you, Danny. Danny Simmons, born in Valdosta, Georgia, 1981. Of two younger... Okay. Anyway, sorry I didn't read it. I didn't see the bio. Sorry about that. Listen, right now what we want to do is welcome to... Oh, briefly... No, let's get her up here. Let's get Kitty Love up here. Right now, we're welcoming to the stage a lovely lady known as Kitty Love. She owns a company called CheekyBells.com, where she does a very tasteful burlesque show all over town. One of them at Jerry Farber's Side Door. Welcome to the Parole Desk, Miss Kitty Love. Thank you for coming on.
I'm glad to be here.
So, how long have you been doing this? Let's post a poster. See a poster. That's a show you're going to be coming up.
Yes,
right? Okay.
that's it.
So tell us how you got into this.
Well, I was teaching exotic dance without the burlesque format for several years, and I had trouble finding out how to market that.
Right.
And then when I found out about the burlesque revival, I worked for another company for 4 years and developed a comedic persona named Rosie Palms.
Okay.
Which was always very fun to go to people after the show and go, "Hi, I'm Rosie Palms," and the guys would laugh immediately, and the women would go, "Why does that sound familiar?" That just seems so familiar.
Yeah.
So I worked almost as an apprentice, so to speak, for 4 years and really learned the comedy side, and at the same time was working with a local band called the Ghost Project and doing some promotions for them. And I got the opportunity in 2012. I answered a Craigslist ad for a local venue that was saying, "Hey, we're looking for a burlesque troupe," and I showed up for the interview, and they're like, "Do you have a burlesque troupe of your own?" I was like, "Well, I will before we need one."
So that's really, and how many years ago was that? 3 years?
That was 2012.
And it's a very tasteful show. It almost goes back like the old-time burlesque.
As far as I know, we are the only neoclassical burlesque troupe in Atlanta.
And what does that mean, neoclassical?
Well, we appeal to both the men and the women in the audience. I've
been to the show, and it is very tasteful.
Thank you.
But at the same time, very revealing.
Briefly revealing. So we like to keep the tease aspect alive. And one of the differences in our show and some of the other shows in town that you might see is that we keep the nudity very brief.
Very brief.
And at the very end, and it's kind of the punchline to the act, as
Yes,
opposed
yes.
to, you know, a more of an exotic dance show. It's more about the actual how you get there, the getting of the tea. So that's why I'm wearing long satin gloves. That's one of the accessories that we really use as poetry in burlesque.
And pasties.
Yes, pasties are important. Not all of the ladies choose to strip down to pasties. I only ask the ladies to strip down to the level that they feel they're most glamorous.
So, and they're very comfortable doing it. You can tell they really enjoy it.
I really love working with these ladies because sometimes they'll come to me with the attitude of, oh, you don't want me, I don't look a certain way, or I can't dance. And within a few short sessions of working with them, I'll work with them 2 or 3 hours at a time out of my house. And I've had performers that started out where they barely wanted to show anything at all.
Right.
And then just 2 or 3 shows later, I'm like, okay, I need you to put on just a little bit more clothes. Because they feel so much more comfortable after getting that acceptance of the audience and also the type of dance technique that I teach for them. It's not about learning how to dance like me. It's learning how to express your inner love goddess.
And we're all really naked under our clothes.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
We were born that way, weren't you?
Yes. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you had any embarrassing experiences during these shows? Like maybe a pasty falling off or something like that? What's the funniest thing that happened? Well, not expected.
That's kind of put me in a spot because as a glamour goddess, I'm a little bit hesitant to reveal my worst moments. But
no, the funniest.
The funniest moments would probably be we had a burlesque show, and I ran out of music before I ran out of clothes. Because I had spent my month getting all the other performers ready, and I thought I was completely ready. And then I changed the song kind of towards a little bit closer to the deadline than I should have. And I thought it was memorized. It wasn't quite memorized. And then the song ended, and I was just standing there like, could someone sing?
Were you in your uniform? Your uniform?
I was about half undressed.
Okay, and when she says half undressed, that means 3/4 undressed. I mean, but very tastefully.
I had enough clothing that I could have been in a regular nightclub. I was covered from like here down.
Her show is a lot of fun. I'm joking when I said it. It is revealing, but it's very tastefully done, and not all the girls. Some sing, some don't undress. We have Spacey who dressed in a Dalmatian outfit and little Dalmatian pasties, but it was very nicely done, and it's really a lot of fun for couples.
Thank you.
A lot of I wouldn't say children, but maybe older children in their 20s.
Well, we rate the show PG-18.
Yeah, it really is. An 18-year-old good and have a lot of fun, and you have people on being funny. So where can they find out about your shows?
I'm glad you asked. I just happen to have. I'm trying to line that up properly. The reason I'm showing you instead of telling you. Because we love to show in burlesque, is that there's this extra E that most people miss when they look for the website online. Because it's cheeky bells like Southern bells and not like jingle bells.
Okay,
very good. I want to point out that extra E. And everything that you need to know is right there, including information about upcoming classes and upcoming shows.
Very good. Well, thank you. Would you like a Skittle?
Sure, but only if it's a red one.
God, now we got to go through all the red ones. Okay. Forget it. I'll give you a red one after. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a lot of fun having you on. Now let's briefly welcome up Mr. Box again to say a brief song. Then we're going to have Mr. Jew and Mr. Black Guy.
Thank you again, Dan. Nice job, Cheeky.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I need to give ups.
That was a
Upgrade a little.
That was a wonderful rendition of "God Bless America." Thank you so much.
Okay.
Practice that one a little bit, will you, please? Okay, you'll come on in a few minutes. But right now, Right now, let's welcome to the stage. Could you pull this chair over, Felix, if you can? Let's welcome.
Stop directing me, white man.
Let's welcome to the stage this comedy team is becoming a legend in the city of Atlanta and other places. Welcome to the stage, the Parole Desk, Jew and the Black Guy. H.T. David and Felix.
You never get it right.
Jordan.
What is it?
Yeah,
What is it?
he'll say a colored fellow and some man of Hebrew descent. He'll say anything.
If I get your name right, I have to get everyone's name right.
I don't want any Skittles. It's Passover.
No Skittles. Okay,
Skittles,
this is
Glazer.
okay. Now, first of all, these gentlemen have been on the show before, so what we want to do. Huh?
We've never been here.
Anyway, what we want to you want a Skittle?
No, I haven't.
What we want to do is get updated on what's going on in your career. You were just on television on the news, right?
Yeah, Alabama Local 15. They
No, you really were on Alabama Local 15 talking about your comedy and
the
everything.
Ocho.
And the Ocho?
Yeah, the Channel 8.
Channel 8. Okay, What's going on with your careers?
Well,
Are you two getting along?
we work at the
always.
Waffle House around the corner together.
You do? Okay.
It's like a community outreach thing.
It is,
It's
okay.
like our relationship
No, it's
in
more
general.
like, what do you call it? You're
He
on
bailed
parole.
me out like Shook, you know what I mean? Signed him a
Have
napkin.
you added any new jokes to your...
No.
Oh, yeah, always.
Nothing.
Well, it's
See
funny.
how on point we are, he said. No.
Every time I see your show, I always learn something. I can't hear your jokes enough. And every time I hear your show, I always pick up something new, some nuance of newness in your show.
Nuance of newness.
So never act any
Only
new
Glazer.
jokes. So, because they really are memorable, and I learn something every time I see your act.
I mean, people.
You
have
do
influence.
ad-lib quite a bit, don't
We
you?
ad-lib a little bit. We talk about the crowd, talk about your mama a little bit.
And you travel all over the country, correct?
We try.
And the South.
In the South.
Do you get along all the time?
Yes, actually.
We do.
Never
I
argue.
don't talk to him enough for us to have.
I want some
No.
dirt
like
to
a
come
really-
out of this show.
I'm a
Have you ever
caveman.
argued?
We do argue.
Okay, what do
yeah.
you argue about?
Whether we're going to sleep
He's
in a
very
truck
Jewish.
stop.
Huh?
Whether we're going to sleep in a truck stop.
Or do you get twin beds or queen size?
You go up, what is it?
I
Opposite
sleep
on
in
the
the
bed.
passenger. He sleeps in the back seat.
It's true. We take a big comforter and we pull into a truck stop. Actually, you know what we do now?
What?
We get free hotel rooms by bartering online.
No shit.
Trade your talent for hotel rooms.
You want to talk about the mini incident? We cuddle. Don't worry about it.
A mini incident? Okay. Well, listen, one of the main reasons I want these young men on the show is they do you call it a poem or it's a beatnik type poem, right?
Beatnik poem. It's we're saying some words that people think is funny.
Okay, take it away. What's the name of it? What's the name of it? What do you call it?
A Jew in a black poem.
Jew in the Black Poem. Okay, here we
Is there a
go.
name?
It's
I don't
called a
remember.
beatnik poem. It's a Jew and a black poem. You really want this? This is what you want?
Give it to him.
All right. If I was a black guy, life would be sweet. I wouldn't have to choose it all be dark meat. If I were dark like midnight sun, I'd get pulled over by everyone.
If I were Jewish, you know it's true. Holla, holla, I'd be one handsome Jew. I'd park my car every Friday night and finally get my credit right.
If I was black like Otis Redding, my intro would have Soul Brother #1 at its heading. I'd walk real smooth and always have cash, G. A little cocoa butter, I'm turning a little ashy.
If I were Jewish, like H.T. said, rocking John Mellencamp in the Grateful Dead. I'd pay my bills and the lights stay on. I'd hire Hector to cut my lawn.
If I was a brother, the real kind,
Good
yo.
job.
Khakis creased from head to toe. Flights white on white, so fresh and so clean. Packing big black heat, if you know what I mean.
If I were Jewish, I'd have a place to call my home. No. My holy land, no repo, man. I'd never be alone. My portfolio diverse, stocks and dividends grow. My kids will live with a father they know.
Oh, shit. If I was black, my rap be tight, slinging slang like you digging out of sight. Cornbread greens and hot fried chicken. Hang up my brim on all that pussy licking.
If I were Jewish, I'd have good hair behind you in the bodega. You wouldn't say cool things like gay cock and hopping, y'all. Whatever the fuck that means. And guilt for my Jewish mom.
If he was Jewish, if I was black, if he was Jewish, if I was
That
black,
should be whack as hell.
whack.
Oh, what you
That's
saying?
it.
You want to be black now?
Maybe I just want to whack.
Now, you move over.
Where?
Mr. Jewish guy, you move over, Mr. Jewish guy.
Oh, my God.
And you sit here.
You said nothing about Tommy without the box.
Mr. Box is going to play another tune.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. Well, it's Steve Pappy on the harmonica, so we take it
How
out.
the hell you gonna
little
come in on our
Jack
camera
Bruce.
time? See how white
Jack
people they
Bruce,
always
train
add other
time.
white people into this shit, man. I didn't agree to this. Was this
Hey.
in the contract?
He played with Wet Willie once.
Yeah, if he didn't play with Dr. Dre, I don't know you.
Skittle?
Thank you very much,
No,
everybody.
we're not done. I like it the way Felix is getting into this, and he's in it like he can't wait till it's over
Welcome
with.
back to Clinically Crazy.
So
with
let's
Dan
play another
Glazer.
song. Let's torture David a little here.
Bipolar.
Play another one. Another one.
Tommy in the box.
No, not the same one. A different one.
This is Dan's show, but I have got to go. I spent a little time with the Jew and black guy, I don't know. Got room to move.
Not really.
Okay, come out here.
All right.
No, stay there.
Oh.
Stay down, sir. Anyway, thank you so much for turning into Comics on Parole.
Where are we?
Hey, we don't have any money.
know where
We don't
we
have
are.
any
Did you
music
do
to
this?
dance
You
to,
booked
do
this?
we?
Junior
Anyway,
Black Guy.
thank you
Junior
so
Black Guy.
much. Everyone say their name. What's your name? Everyone say their name.
George Styles,
Rufus.
H.T. Rosen.
H.T. Rosen.
Means funny.
Kiki Love.
Tommy. Don't leave Tommy out.
Watch me, man.
Tommy.
Thank you so much for
I
tuning
tell you,
in.
don't do it. Just go ahead and do it.
Thank you so much
Say
for
no, no.
tuning. Thank you so much for tuning in to
Do you
Comics on Parole.
understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Stay tune in next
can't
week.
control
But we
my
don't know
head.
who will be on, but they will be here. Thank you.
JuniorBlackGuy.com. Hit in the box.
Take it away.
He obviously doesn't smoke.